good friend of mine, dude, is a friend of the show, Lonzo Williams. He called me this morning, and he was kind of upset because I don't know how he just hearing it. I don't even remember what episode was that on. What episode was that on, Brian? It was a long time ago. I guess he just not getting wind of it. He said, man, I'm very offended that Eiht called the very people that put him on. He said that our music was whack and the World Class Wreckin Cru, this and that. So I was going to call Lonzo.
Wait a minute. You said the World Wreckin Cru.
No, you call it. No, you call him on the next episode. I'm gonna address this, and we're gonna deal with it on the next episode.
Do those.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the name of the building. Compton.
I never said the Wreckin Cru. I never. My point is to not want to say disrespect the forefathers of whatever is believed to be. But when people ask me about the foundation of West Coast rap music, it was corny, straight up.
You talking about before you or while you was doing it?
Before me. I'm talking about when you used to have to listen to people like Bobby Jimmy and the Critters and Roaches.
Yeah. Roaches.
When you know, Wreckin Cru. I listened to Wreckin Cru. I bought Dr. Dre Surgery records. Were they an influence of being a hip-hop artist to me? No. What they were influenced to me as was being a DJ. They were not influential to me as rap artists. They were influential to me as DJs and musicians. I never listened to Wreckin Cru as a sign of this would be the pave way of West Coast hip hop. Because look what West Coast hip hop is. Now, he wants to say that without him, there would be no MC8.
Okay, so
let me address this. Without Lonzo and that type of music, would there have still been an MC8? I wasn't influenced by the Wreckin Cru. I was influenced by East Coast rap.
Did you ever?
I was influenced by people like UTFO and Just Ice. I was influenced by people like Roxanne Shantae and Sparky D.
Okay.
Bobby Jimmy and the Critters and Lonzo did not influence me to become a hip-hop artist. Toddy T and Mixmaster Spade is what influenced me. Lonzo and them knew how to get motherfucking record deals. That's how they knew how to do. Because us as young gang-banging ass hustling drug dealers, we didn't know shit about music industry. You couldn't have told me shit about how to put out a record. That came from Eazy-E. It did not come from the Wreckin Cru. Did the Wreckin Cru start as musicians on the West Coast? Sure they did. They sure did. And like I said, did I go spend my money on Dr. Dre Surgery 12-inch records? Yes, I did. Did I buy Turn Off the Lights? No, I did not. You get me?
That was
so I understand where he's coming from saying, I'm one of the dudes who was a pioneer. First of all, you didn't even like hip-hop. You didn't like rap, gangsta rap. It was told in the movie. You hated it. You hated when Dre and Eazy stepped up and was wanting to come with the street shit. You wanted them to continue with the dance shit. The sequence robes and the DJing at the parties.
As were you, Lonzo, because I know you like playing with that NWA acronym. Not without Lonzo.
Not without Lonzo.
Yes, indeed.
Not without Lonzo. Lonzo said, wouldn't nobody NWA?
CMW?
CMW. You just said CMW.
I did say CMW. CMW, NWA, CIA, and a bunch of other initials and littles and lokes and shit. Wouldn't be here. Wouldn't be doing what they doing.
So you had
That's why I came down today, man.
You came down today. Lonzo said he wasn't having it. He said, not without Lonzo. Not without Lonzo.
A lot of niggas came through Lonzo's presence as far as, that door as far as getting getting a shot into the music biz, because there was not a lot of West Coast artists here before, you know, Lonzo, the Wreckin' Crew, and shit, I couldn't even name nobody before then, if you ask me.
Toddy T was for me. Toddy T came out right. We came out real close.
I listened to Todd because, you know, Todd was from my neighborhood. He was from Tragnew.
Okay.
So Todd had TDK tapes. That's where I knew Todd from. I knew Wreckin' Crew from Surgery, the 12-inch. That's where I got introduced to the Wreckin' Crew. But as far as records, all I knew was y'all as far as putting out records. Were you, Egypt,
Right.
Unknown had Techno Hop.
Right.
He was putting out, you know, bass records and the first fucking Ice-T records.
Right.
Then you had Dream Team and Rockberry Jam and all of that. So
that shit right there was all because we were all dance promoters, all DJs. The whole era, the whole generation was totally different back then. All we did was gave dances and chase chicks. That's all we did.
So that's
made
why
records.
That's why y'all music kind of was.
That's why That's why we had Jerry curls. That's why we had them suits on. We trying to get laid and have some fun. Okay.
Let me ask you one. It's just one thing I want to know, bro. What was up with that era with all the?
We got that shit from Tour de France, man. That shit was the hottest shit in the club at the time, man. Look at Kraftwerk. Wreckin' Crew, Egypt.
That's why I say a lot of our shit was dance records.
Wreckin' Crew, Egyptian Lover, out of New York, Soul Sonic Force. That was the shit. That and vocoders. Okay, the mechanical shit. That's all. That was the musical sound. That was like our version of goddamn auto tune. Okay. It was like that was our shit for that era, okay? Everybody has something they do different in every era, and for the dance sets at that time, everybody was breathing on their records, okay? If a nigga had asthma, he couldn't make a motherfucking record, okay?
That's what the damn shit sound like. A nigga in the background just.
And see, and we got this shit we got it from Kraftwerk. Listen to Kraftwerk.
So when did you notice? As, like you said, that was your era. When did you feel and notice that hip-hop, so to speak, started changing?
Hip-hop started changing for us around 86, 87. Because we started in 82. I started in 82. But West Coast hip-hop started changing around 86, 87. Because we may turn off the lights. That was around the same year that Dre them left right after Turn Off the Lights and formed NWA. And y'all came up right behind them. So it was like the late 80s. And Ice-T had already done his thing. But even then, it hadn't officially changed over completely because we still was doing dances and shit. It was like we was in that curve. With that mix, it's still niggas still dancing, but they already started banging. They still dancing, but they started banging. And all of a sudden, they stopped dancing and started banging. The whole thing just changed completely. And even when we would go on tour, when I first started going on tour, all we played was R&B groups. It was Wreckin' Crew, Mary Jane Girls, Morris Day and the Time, shit like that. Then around the second or third year, we started seeing Force MDs and other acts like that. Okay, because even the West Coast, even the East Coast acts were doing more like an R&B thing. You had the Force MDs and even Cool Mo D, though he was a rapper, his music was R&B music type. Okay, so by the time my last tour with NWA, I never forget, it was NWA, Eazy-E, Just Ice, and Ice-T, and World Class Wreckin Cru. We the headliner. Because Turn Off the Lights is the hottest record of all this shit, right? Eazy them just starting up. We just broke up. But Dre and Yella them was with Eazy them, and we on tour with all these gangsters. So I'm like, I'm telling you, because Jerry Heller was my manager, I'm like, dude, how are we on this? This ain't going to work for us. Now, we had the biggest song. Wasn't nobody checking for Eazy and them like that just yet. They was only getting minimum wage, $1,500 a night. I'm getting $7-8 grand. Mm-hmm. Okay? Ice-T he still was Ice-T. He always been Ice-T. He get a little probably get the same amount as I am, but because I had the biggest record, I was considered a draw at that time. But they had all these gangster acts on the show, and that's when the whole thing changed for us because now you can't get laid after the show no more. You got to fight.
Oh, so
the whole goddamn thing changed. Huh?
There was a lot of bullshit in the tour?
Oh, it was bullshit then. By that time, I picked up Battle Cat, Richie Rich, and Mona Lisa to do Turn Off the Lights. So Battle Cat was a young 19-year-old kid straight out of the 60s rolling with me on tour for the first time.
That's what I was going to say. Who did you get to replace Dre and Yella?
Battle Cat was replacing Dre. Richie Rich, he was with the Dream Team for a minute. And Mona Lisa, who sang Lovers in the first time, that's who the song was written for in the first place, ended up doing the song that Michelet's parts.
Is that right? So when Dre left, Michelet bounced too?
Yeah. Michelet was never part of Wreckin' Cru. She was just like a work for hire type situation. She was.
You know, I watched her movie. I think I called you because I was at home watching her I think her movie was on BET.
It was one of them Lifetime movies.
Yeah, one of them Lifetimes, yeah.
I
a lot
saw
of
it on
crying and shit and all that.
They had you in that motherfucker. I said, they got the homie up in here. I need to ask him, is this shit true? Man, you found her in the store?
Of all the shits, man, that was probably the biggest lie I ever told. Of all the shit I've ever done, niggas have lied on me in all kind of ways. They lied on me and Jesus all the time. And they lied on me more than they did Jesus, okay? And now she did work at a store. But I was not walking through no goddamn store looking for a pair of socks. I didn't wear fucking socks, man. I just showed y'all that for the goddamn, I didn't wear socks that much. So they then they had me smoking cigarettes, pacing outside the studio, waiting for her to get off the bus. Man, that's some bullshit. Anybody know, any woman that work with me gonna get a ride to and from the goddamn studio. Dude, Michelet was like 18. She just graduated high school. And she would come to the studio, hang out sometime. But she didn't hang out with the fellas all the time. Sometimes she'd go on the pad, kick it with Rose and D and them.
Mm-hmm.
He was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rose and would be around the pad. Were you there? Yeah, Rose, yeah. That's right, you had Tanya, that's right. Yeah. Anyway. No, I forgot about that shit.
Shut up, Lonzo.
He don't know. I tell you, nigga, I know all the goddamn dirt, okay? Now he fixing his hat now, see? I didn't hit a nerve. Anyway, she was kicking in the pad a lot of times, and usually I'd get up, either me or one of the fellas get up and take her home. I had no idea her and Dre had any kind of interaction.
So you never saw none of this. I like to be careful on what you say.
Yeah, because I'll be telling you about what you be giving questions.
I don't want to become that type of messy-ass podcaster. You know what I mean? Putting out shit, but...
Yeah, because we always got to keep his ass off of certain shit, you know what I'm saying? Because he likes to, walk that thin line sometimes.
The alleged abuse that was going on at the time, you never saw none of that?
Never saw it.
Never saw none of that, okay.
Never saw it. Never saw
that was something, because I know these movies have a tendency.
That's that Lifetime shit, man. You got to be tear-jerkers and shit, man. Come on.
You got to remember also, at that time, excuse me, I don't know why I'm coughing. At that time, at my house, nobody drank except for Slip. I didn't see no 8 Ball till the niggas showed up.
Yeah.
The
them niggas come with 8 Ball and all kind of shit, okay?
Yeah.
Dre and them didn't drink. We didn't even smoke weed or nothing. These youngsters brought all the bad habits to my house.
Yeah, we came with the gangster shit.
This is Gangsta Chronicles. We gon' tell you how it goes. If I lie, my nose will grow like Pinocchio. We gon' tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Gangsta Chronicles. This is not your average show.